All right, the purpose of this picture is actually a video.
Okay.
I would like you to explain what happened this afternoon. How did you obtain that white glove on your right hand?
I cut myself shaving. No. Truth of the matter is, when playing at the beach with Marcel and X and Charlie in the surf, and throwing stuff into the surf for the dogs to chase and jump in, swim, which they were doing great. Marcel was a little athlete, so was X. I decided that because I forgot my balls to bring, my tennis balls, that I would use my old sneakers that were ready for the garbage anyway, my old deck shoe sneakers. So we're throwing them in the surf, and it's jumping in and jumping out, very nice. The two dogs got in a tug of war over one of my shoes, which was very interesting, watching them pulling at each other, and it all seemed like harmless fun until it got a bit out of hand and it escalated into a dog fight.
Could you hold it for a moment?
Sure.
I would like to photograph the two animals that are in question here.
The two vicious killer
The two
animals.
vicious beasts that caused this trauma.
Can you zoom with that?
Not while it's running.
Then you have to get up and get a close-up of Marcel's head. Walk right over and get a picture of his scalp while you're doing that.
I may screw up my video.
No, you won't.
But these are the two animals that were in a vicious dog fight this afternoon.
A vicious dog fight that looked like it could have been to the death.
Exactly, and I'd like to know how much of a help your father was in breaking up the battle.
I felt the need to intervene, so I got involved there. At the time the fight was beginning, when there was still a tug of war, Daddy was shooting video of the playing and the tug of war, and it was when it escalated into a fight that he shut off his camera and came to my assistance. So I was there right at the two dogs' heads, pulling at their collars and at their heads, trying to pull them apart, and having no success. That's when I thought I'd try to pry somebody's mouth off of somebody else, which is when one of the dogs, Dad says it was X, I really don't know which one it was, opened briefly and then clamped down with my hand, and my hand was in there with the two dogs. So they were still locked on each other, and my hand was in there.
It's like a hand in a lion's mouth.
I had my hand in a lion's mouth. So the two dogs are pulling at each other, and my hand is in there, and I'm pulling at them, and boy did it hurt. It was like a vice with teeth.
Wow.
And when we finally got them apart, there was plenty of blood, just a couple of puncture wounds. The big padding, but it's just a couple of puncture wounds. And if the full moon comes out tonight and I start howling, then we got problems.
Did you tell about your hospital visit and the intravenous and all the attention and all?
I don't want to bore you with the details.
The crowded emergency room and all of that?
The emergency room was not crowded. They took me immediately. I was examined, I filled out the forms, answered the questions, got examined, got it washed up. The doctor came in to see me. He further examined it, and they decided not to stitch it up because it's a deep puncture wound and it must heal from the inside to outside to avoid infection. And I'm also sat with IV. Oh, I didn't show you this.
Wow.
I got IV antibiotics as a preventative for infection from the dog bite. And I did not require a tetanus shot because I had one fairly recently.
And you said you got to go back tomorrow? Do you really?
Yes, I do.
To the hospital?
Yes.
Wow. Another visit? Another cost? Or part of the same?
I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know the answer to that.
All right, let's go back to the vicious dogs again because they're beginning to act up. I believe X opened his eyes and stretched, so Anything can happen now.
He can snap at any moment.
That's right. Unbelievable.
Look at that camera.
Move it slowly. I don't know if it'll focus in as it moves. I mean, you know, clear. Does it?
We'll see what.
You can't tell because you can't see.
I could see the picture.
What about the guy that did all the damage?
This one?
Yeah. With this camera, this kind of camera.
Hey, you're missing your front tooth. Do you know that?
Darth Vader. You have to pan slower with this camera than you do with the Sony. Otherwise you get funny stuff.
Here, make it stop. There's too much crappy content. That's got to get edited down.
This is me, yours truly, the cameraman. And there goes Greg. He's having a fit.
I'm not going to tell you what he really did when when the shit was hitting the fan.
I was fucking the dogs. And look who's here. As we speak, Charlie's licking his hiney here. Okay, oh, and he's itching after a bath and a flea shampoo and all of that. I don't know, Charlie, what's with you?
Too much mixed content makes for a boring video.
I know. So how would you want to end this video? Because you're going to edit it on Movie Maker.
I press the stop button.
Oh, the black button on top?
The same one that started it.
Now look at how long this video is going on this 1 GB card. And I just charged up the battery. The light was green. So I got about a half hour's worth of video.
1 GB card?
1 GB SD card.
That's friggin' amazing.
Isn't it? They got 2 now. But I find I don't even need it. The one does a big job as it is. Okay, we're going to sign off for now from Grassy Key, Florida. Oh.
That's movie talk for cut.
Okay.